Previously on Ballistic Pursuit, an emotional day as Brandy harvests an impala with lightning-fast speed.
The ethical kill, make sure one shot. I like the one shot. I don't like suffering in the field. So I was really concerned about that, as where you aim on a South African animal is different than where you do at home.
But the day's hunt isn't over just yet, and a golden opportunity shows up for Jim. Problem is, this golden wildebeest isn't on his list, but Jason's. Out on the plains of Terra Wildlife, day 2 of the hunt continues here in South Africa.
On the left?
The Ballistic Pursuit crew keeps their eyes peeled for opportunities here in the Free State as Jim Gilliland continues the pursuit of the elusive springbuck he's been after.
In the far back, to the right of the green bush.
The bird on the top.
Nope, go left of that. He's walking away from us.
Swift-footed and considerably smaller than the other game here in the Free State, the springbuck continue to play a cat-and-mouse game.
He's better than the other one? Okay.
He's running. Those two right there are probably the bigger two.
Let's see what Rainier has to say about him.
God, they're probably out to 520.
But here in South Africa, you have to take advantage of what opportunities you can, and that's just what Jim does during their round 2 encounter with some gemsbok, a large antelope native to this area and one of the country's most sought-after game species.
All right, we're good?
485, yep.
Good.
Yeah.
Down. Good shot. Another one.
500 yards on that.
Golly.
485.
This one was a challenge. We saw a pair of them, or 3 early on, and we were after them pretty hard, and we just kind of lost them. We broke off, went and looked for something else, and couldn't get set up on anything else, and came back to them. They'd give us a shot, and we couldn't get it. They'd move too quick, and so we were on them and off them and on them and off them, and finally, we found him. We kind of got him where we thought he would be, got him in the open, and the only thing we had was 6 seconds tops to range him at 485 and to dial and put it on him. And man, it was a perfect shot, right exactly where it should have been.
Jim had a lot of help. With the direction of Terra, Wildlife's hunting guides and owner, driver Rainier Von Tonder, and Shaw Barrel's car billing provided an extra set of eyes behind him. Jim was well equipped for the challenge.
Again, it's just how the challenge down here is, you find one, you get set up, and about the time everything's right, they spook or they gone or whatever. And then, so when you have the opportunity, you have to take it.
Put up on him, what, 3 or 4 times?
The equipment worked exactly the way it was supposed to, and it just, man, it worked out. Just perfect.
No such luck with the crafty springbuck as Jim switches gears and is on the lookout for another chance at South Africa's national animal.
The little turd, he's like bouncing, like, look at me, I'm running away again. Let's keep trying.
Straight ahead.
Man, you're a blessing. You're a blessing. You're a blessing.
An answered prayer for this South African church, thanks to the Ballistic Pursuit crew, Crown Safaris, and Terra Wildlife, along with an appeal to help fortify the walls of this Christian sanctuary.
Lucid Optics presents Ballistic Pursuit, sponsored by Shaw Barrels, proven precision.
Send it.
As Jim, Jason, Carl, and the rest of the crew continue to roam the grounds of Terra Wildlife in search of game, co-owner Eleanor Pretorius heads out on the second leg of a humanitarian mission this day.
There's so many people that need support, and after this, our corona disease and stuff, people are really in trouble. So I have wonderful people working for me, and they are really on the ground, so they can help me and to tell me, ma'am, there is people that really need your help, and now I can do it with my hunters that giving all these meat, beautiful, beautiful meat, and we can actually just help people that never taste meat. You know, their staple food is maize, so this meat will absolutely come as a treat to our people and really life-saving.
After a warm reception and tears of gratitude from those who live and work at the Ahape Aftercare Center for the Disabled, it's time for the crew to head over to another destination to drop off donated meat from the Ballistic Pursuit Team's harvest, outbreaking of the Holy Spirit International Ministries, located in Henneman, South Africa.
Man, you are a blessing. You are a blessing. You are a blessing. First and foremost, we are preaching the gospel of Christ. Preaching the gospel of Christ, but then again, we continue to do that through giving to the people.
And now, thanks to this donation, Pastor Majal Kuladi and his wife Pulani can do just that.
We are trying to help everybody. Now, even the people who are going to be benefiting from this now are not even members of my church. Not members of my church, but now that's what we are trying to do. Remember Jesus Christ with that Good Samaritan. A Good Samaritan came. He was not a friend, he was not a relative, he was a nobody too. Yet he came and he did something good to the person. So that's what we are trying to do.
There's a noble cause in being able to give back. And I reached a point in my career where it's time for me to start doing more and more of that.
As a church, this is what we do every day, and this is what we are praying for, that God, we want to help at least one person at a time. It just helps somebody else, yes. That's what we do. I don't know where maybe I'm preaching more. It is such a blessing. Like now, the lady said to me, it's going to be an ongoing something. Then it's such a blessing for these families to eat meat. Some of them, they don't even eat meat in 2 months, 3 months. Now, for them to have a meat on their table, it's a real blessing to them. So we really thank you for Lucid Optics. Thank you. Thank you, and Leonardo, thank you very much from Tara. Thank you very much. We really appreciate this.
The ministry of Pastor Kolati and the congregation reach beyond the four walls of the sanctuary. The church gives out clothing and lends a helping hand to those who live here whenever possible. While their faith rests on a firm foundation, the actual walls of the building aren't doing so good.
We are praying that one day, God will bring us that miracle, because we really do need a building here. Like I said to you, the congregation is too big. They can't fit in here. Due to COVID, we had to even bring social distancing. It's even worse. So now, and you look at the place there up there, it might fall at any given time. And that would be a problem. So we really pray for a building. We are praying God to bring us that Good Samaritan to come so that we be able to pray to our God, to preach the gospel of Christ. And yes, we really do pray.
But on this day, Eleanor, Paul Milford with Crown Safaris, and Brandy Crotto, representing the Ballistic Pursuit crew, have been a ray of light for those here in Henneman, supporting the church's mission to give when needed and demonstrate the far-reaching power of the God they serve.
They're so happy for anything. They're so thankful for everything. And it's what really comes out of what we do here, what we have done here, and what the capability that Americans can come and bring to an impoverished nation. Yes, we're privileged to come over here.
Coming up next on Ballistic Pursuit,
The two standing next to each other are 492.
a golden opportunity for Jim.
Sponsored by Federal Ammunition, Every Shot Counts, and Shadow 6 Consulting. Perfect your craft.
Any hunt, any range. Go farther with Federal Premium Terminal Ascent. Match accuracy at extreme range. Bonded construction for deep, straight line penetration. Consistent expansion where other bullets fail. It all comes together in the best hunting rifle round ever made, period. Federal Premium Terminal Ascent. No limits.
We ride out with a couple of intentions of things that we wanted to do.
All reflected on a list of animals compiled by the Ballistic Pursuit crew before rolling out on the first hunt.
One of the first things that we were going to do was look for wildebeest. And so we had the opportunity to get a golden wildebeest, which is a specific species, inside the wildebeest family. With a golden wildebeest, which is an exotic here in Africa or whatever. So we move out, we're looking for them, we find these three that we're really looking for, and as we're trying to get positioned on whatever, they move away from us, getting this thick stuff, we can't find them anymore, so we moved on from there. Went up to the top of the hill and we found a lechwe.
Jim's aim is true, and he takes down the lechwe at 500 yards. Impressive, but bigger things were just around the corner for Jim.
The two standing next to each other are 492, the two wildebeest.
It's starting to kind of get close to lunch, and we thought we'd try to look one more time for these wildebeest. And so we made a big loop around, kind of got this wet area or whatever between us and them, or the bottom area or whatever, had a little pond or something down there. And they had starting to move on us a little bit, and so we had to set this shot up. And I am really, really not a fan. I'm not an advocate of long-range hunting, but if we were going to take this animal, and we knew this was the one, I mean, the PHs were excited about it. They got us excited about it. It was what was, it was the set, right? So we ranged him with 700 yards.
A long shot, and the golden wildebeest was on Jason's list, not Jim's. But it's a golden opportunity the retired Army Ranger couldn't pass up.
We got, everything stabilized as much as we could, dialed our data on, made sure the wind was mostly at our back for probably a 3 to 5 mile per hour. So gave him a little wind hold, and one shot, and this thing just crumpled. And it was one of the cleanest kills we've had so far, even at that distance. And it was very, very exciting. And then we get down there and realize that not only was this an exotic species here for the wildebeest, but he's huge. He's a really, really great animal. Took a 700-yard shot on this guy, and it was a perfect shot. He went right down. Awesome guy. Beautiful.
A good day, to say the least.
We did actually find out that the wildebeest that we took earlier in the day, so not only was it probably the longest shot on a wildebeest so far that we know of, but it was also one of 4 that we know of that was ever filmed. It was also big enough at 29 inches to make the Roland Ward record book.
Like any good military veteran, Jim credits and celebrates this feat with the entire team.
One of the cool things about being here, is not only did I come with a bunch of friends, but I mean, these friends have their own companies, they're doing their own things, So we're here with Lucid Optics, and Jason Wilson, the owner of that's a really good friend of mine. We're here with Shaw Custom Rifles, and they're the guys that built these rifles that we're shooting. And then, my relationship with Federal Ammunition is they're helping me out here or whatever. And essentially, I showed up to Africa with guns and scopes that I've never seen before, and a caliber that I've never shot before. We zero these guns, we shoot 7-8 rounds through each one of them. We chronograph them with the magneto speeds, and we put the stuff in the Kestrel Ballistics, handheld that I've got. And the very next shot that I take with one of these rifles, out more than 100 yards, was a 700-yard shot on a record wildebeest. I mean, that's amazing. And then to tie in all of the people that are here that we're spending these time with, the landowners, the professional hunters, the people that are involved here, whether it be, the taxidermists that came in, or, these other, companies that kind of come together and help each other out or whatever. Like, this whole group is just an amazing experience.
Up next on Ballistic Pursuit, a celebration is in order, and there's plenty of good food and shots to go around as new friendships are forged and old ones grow stronger. along with the adult beverages.
Sponsored by Crown Safari Group and Tacticam. Share your hunt.
The Houston Safari Club is for anyone who likes to hunt.
It's for the love of the outdoors.
It's to give all of us as individuals a voice.
Ever wanted to hunt whatever, wherever in the world, somebody in the club has done it and can point you in the right direction.
We have met some of our very close friends through Houston Safari Club.
I love the Houston Safari Club.
I love the Houston Safari Club.
I love the Houston Safari Club.
Join the Houston Safari Club Foundation to increase your knowledge of the hunting world.
That was crazy.
After a long day of hunting and humanitarian endeavors, the Ballistic Pursuit crew trade one shot for another back at Terra Lodge. In fact, the whole idea for this adventure sprang up over a few adult beverages.
We started out this adventure a couple of years ago. My buddy Josh said, you know what you ought to do? Over several beers, of course. And of course, that was a laugh, ha ha, yeah, that was reaching for the moon kind of a discussion. But the more we talked about it, the more we realized that this could probably be really achievable. So we started putting together the players. We needed a safari group willing to let us come out and film on their property. Some of them don't like that. Some of them do. We started to put together rifle partners, folks that were wanting their rifles showcased. Obviously, I make the optics, so I'm going to showcase that best I can. More importantly to me is I want to showcase the humanitarian efforts, the people side of what makes this industry tick.
And the Ballistic Pursuit crew, Terra Lodge, and Crown Safaris Group have managed to do that. And there are plenty of stories to tell as the entire team bands together at the end of the day at Terra Lodge.
It's stunning. The people are fun, fantastic to be around. The meals we have, they're made from some of the game that have been taken. Maybe not on our day, because they take the meat and they properly care for it and they age it. So when we get it put on our table, it's much better product than it would have been fresh.
We're tasting the backstrap of one of the animals that we harvested.
That's an easy answer. And if you get it wrong, you get a shot.
Springbuck. Okay.
No, the black one that Jason shot today.
I made a mistake.
But there's no mistaking that new friendships are forming.
Well, I think we're going to have tenderloin wrapped in that pastry. That was my guess.
Yeah.
You know, because when I had that, I tasted that pastry. I was like, oh man.
My dad has done it before. Yeah, we took a fillet, like a back sting, and then we wrapped it in the pastry and put it in the oven.
Yeah. That's some good stuff. I do too.
I like it. My father made the pie.
As old friendships also grow stronger along with the drinks.
And then every time I've come to Africa, everybody, the concession owners or the lodge owners, the people that work here, the staff, the cooks and the PHs, everybody, you tell stories, you're with each other all day, you're with these life's first moments, and you know, you experience all this emotional stuff together. And just I think because of the situations and the stuff you do, you become close.
Also mingling with the Terra Lodge workers and Ballistic Pursuit crew, other property owners with the Crown Safaris Group, including Rian Van Tonder, who runs African Barefoot Safaris.
When I was 4 or 5 years old, my dad told me if you want to shoot a big kudu bull, you can't go with shoes, you need to go bare feet. Because we do a lot of walking stalking there, it's not from the vehicles and stuff, so I took my shoes off and it worked. That's where it all started, and since then when I go out for myself to hunt, I go bare feet, and that's where the name came from, African Barefoot Safaris. Actually, I had two ladies from Texas, and they actually went barefoot with me for one day.
No matter where you're from, this exclusive safari in South Africa offers a little something for everyone, whether you opt to wear shoes or not, and also offers bow hunt exclusive packages with permanent blinds in the bushveld.
We bow hunting specialists, like we like to call it ourselves. We bow hunting only property in South Africa, Limpopo province. We have 15 species on the property, so there's a lot to choose from. It's not just, you're not just going to see one type of animal coming in. There will be a lot of species coming into your blind when you sit and wait for the animals.
Safaris are also a family affair for Peter Lampratt, owner of Cruiser Safaris, another Crown Safari property.
I started 25 years ago, so I've been in the hunting business for 25 years, and my job is to make people's dreams become reality.
Cruiser Safaris offers 2 decades of hunting experience, and while the majority of hunting is done in the bushveld of the Limpopo province, they also offer a package add-on in the Free State Highveld. Regardless, Lamprecht aims to provide clients with memories to last a lifetime.
We want people to have a family experience, you know, bring their family along and, you know, have this whole experience. And from our side also, and we have had a lot of those clients in the past, you know, people that come here that bring their children along, and it's the first time that they shoot something. So for us, it's a big responsibility to let them have a great first experience. And yeah, like I said, we're privileged to be able to have done that in the past, and we've created good hunters with good ethical values.
An all-around good time to go around for everyone, sharing food and fellowship at Terra Lodge tonight. From all walks of life and all parts of the globe, a common thread, and the realization that maybe we're not so different after all.
And so it makes you, when people say, why don't you help our people here? Well, I don't know. I kind of think, why don't you help human beings wherever they need it? And if you happen to be there, help them out. Don't say, no, I don't want to put food in your mouth. I'm going to wait till I get home. And, you know, and I think that's, if you're there and you can help, you know, take that effort and it'll change your life. It'll change your heart.
Coming up on the next episode of Ballistic Pursuit.
The kudu is known as the ghost of Africa, right? Because it can appear and disappear in a blink of an eye. I mean, it's something that some guys hunt for a lifetime. And some guys can show up, much as today, and they're right where they're told to be.
Find out which member of the team gets a rare opportunity at one of South Africa's most prized animals. And it's Lucid Optics' Jason Wilson's turn at the bench.
Closed captioning brought to you by Houston Safari Club Foundation. We hunt, we give.
The special needs orphanage was a Have. Again, I hope I pronounced that right. Incredible facility with incredible people. Any little bit helps.